Hey everyone, welcome to Riding with Rob. I'm Rob, your host. Let's get right into today's show, okay? Today I wanted to talk about some good tips on saving gas, because gas is freaking expensive, and every time I go to the gas pump I'm like, man, fuck that noise. I'm so sick of paying $4+ for a gallon of gas, okay? In my lifetime, since I was 16, gas has gone up 400%. Yeah, fuck you guys, okay? 400%, really? Oh, that's inflation. Fuck off. So let's talk about some ways that you can save on gas, we can save on gas, and we can stick it to the man because we're not using as much gas, so he's not going to make as much money. Because, let's face it, no one wants to continuously give somebody billions of dollars a year because they're forced to. Nobody wants to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't think you want to do that. Nobody wants to do that. Alright? So, there's quite a few things you can do to save on gas. Now, everyone's always like, well, I'm going to buy a 4-cylinder car or a hybrid, or yes, you will save on gas by getting a smaller car with a smaller engine. I mean, let's face it, a small engine doesn't need as much gas. Plain and simple. But I would like to emphasize that it's not only what you drive, but more importantly, how you drive, okay? If you're the type of person who's, well, kind of like me, you've got a heavy foot, and you love the feeling of acceleration. Sometimes you just can't help yourself. You just want to floor it and just go. But that's not the best way to save on gas. I mean, that's pretty obvious. But neither is, like a jackrabbit start where you, hit the gas real hard. Listen, saving on gas is all about smoothness. You want to be smooth into the accelerator. You want to have a smooth acceleration. It's okay if it takes you 10 years to get up to 45. No one cares. I mean, the guy behind you might be pissed off, but guess what? You're saving him gas too. Okay? Plain and simple. The less RPMs your car is going up to, then the less gas the engine is using. Therefore, you're saving on gas. Okay? Now, another thing that really kills your gas mileage is having the windows open and running the AC. Now, both of these are like, well, fuck, what am I supposed to do? Because if it's really hot out, obviously I want to have my AC on, okay? If I'm trying to save on gas by not running my AC and it's still hot out, well, then I want to roll the windows open. So it's kind of a catch-22. Either way, you're losing on gas. Here's kind of a rule of thumb, okay? If you're driving less than, I believe it's 40 miles an hour, so 39 and less, okay? Keep the windows down. This was something they did on Mythbusters. You guys ever watch Discovery Channel? I know I'm a bit of a geek. Like to watch my Discovery Channel. But they showed that if you have less drag on the car with the windows open, doing less than 40 miles an hour, than you do with the AC on. Now, once you get over that hump of 40 miles an hour, turn the AC on, because